Today's lesson will be on factor theorem. If a polynomial f of x is divided by linear divisor, you know what's a linear divisor? The power of x is 1 and the remainder is f of a. This is remainder theorem. If x minus a is a factor, then f of x is exactly divisible by x minus a. It means the remainder is 0. If the remainder is 0, automatically, right, x minus a becomes a factor. So what is factor theorem basically? If x minus a linear factor, if it is a factor of right f of x, then f of a must be equal to 0. F of a means the remainder when the polynomial is divided by x minus a. If the remainder is 0, x minus a is a factor. If x minus a is a factor, then the remainder is 0. The first example on factor theorem, determine whether each of the following is a factor of the polynomial 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 3 or not. So we are going to check if x plus 1 is a factor or not. So for that, we just make this as f of x first. F of x is a polynomial in x, which is 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 3. If x plus 1 is a factor, then f of minus 1 should be equal to 0. So we are going to check is f of minus 1 gives 0 remainder or not, or the value is 0 or not. So in place of x, we substitute minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, and so on, right? So by calculation, this is minus 4 because minus 1 cube is minus 1. Minus 1 square is plus 1, therefore it is 9. Minus 8 plus 3, and it is 9 plus 3, 12, minus 12, which is equal to 0. So f of minus 1 is 0, and therefore x plus 1 is a factor. Okay, next we are going to check whether 2x minus 1 can be a factor of the same polynomial or not. So f of x equals to 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 3, right? So I'm going to check if 2x minus 1 is a factor or not. If 2x minus 1 is a factor, then I just take it as 2x minus 1 equals to 0. I already explained to you when I was doing the remainder theorem. And from this, I can get 2x equals to 1, and therefore x equals to half. So what I'm going to do is I'll substitute x equals to half. So I'm going to calculate f of half. Okay. So this is 4 times half the whole cube plus 9 times the half whole thing square plus 8 times half plus 3 also, right? Okay, so it's all calculation now. This is 4 times half cube is 1 over 8 plus 9 times half square is 1/4, right? 8 times half is 4 plus 3. So it's very clear, no need to calculate. This is not equals to 0. It means when f of x is divided by 2x minus 1, when this polynomial is divided by 2x minus 1, it does not give a remainder 0, because you know f of half means a remainder, right? So this remainder is not 0. What does it mean? It means 2x minus 1 is not a factor, right? It's not a factor of the polynomial f of x. F of x is actually 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 3. The next example is something different, but it is also based on factor theorem. Show that x minus 2 is a factor of this. So I have to show. If I have to show it's a factor, what I must show is f of 2 must be equal to 0, right? So it's a showing question. So I'm going to substitute in place of x, right, 2. It means I'm going to calculate f of 2, right? So f of 2 is 2 cube. I replace x by 2, right? So 5 times 2 square plus 8 times 2 and okay, minus 4. So this is what I want to show, right, finally. So all calculation, 2 cube is 8, 2 square is 4, 8 times 2, 16, and okay, minus 4. So this is 8 minus 20 plus 6 minus 4. So I get 24 minus 24, which is equal to 0. It means the remainder when f of x is divided by x minus 2 equals to 0. It means x minus 2 is a factor, right? Is a factor of f of x. So it's a showing question, right? We have to write shown. Okay, let us do the next one. X squared plus x minus 2 is a factor of the polynomial given already. Then find the values of a and b. But this is not a linear factor, right? Factor theorem we apply only when it is a linear factor. So what we can do is, we just factorize this x squared plus x minus 2. If you factorize, it is going to be x plus 2 times, okay, x minus 1. If this whole thing is a factor, this must be also factor, this must be also a factor of f of x, okay? So let us take f of x to be 2x to the power 4 plus x cube minus 4x squared plus ax minus b, okay? So this is ax, all right? Let me write again. So this is ax, and finally, okay, you have b also. Right, now it's a factor, x plus 2 is a factor. Because this whole thing is a factor, which means x plus 2 is also a factor. So I'm going to substitute x equals to negative 2, right? If I substitute, the remainder must be 0 because it's already a factor. I'm not testing, right? So f of minus 2, I substitute 2 times minus 2 to the power 4 plus minus 2 cube minus 4 times minus 2 square plus a times minus 2 and minus b, the whole thing must be equal to 0 because it's a factor, right? So it's all calculation. Minus 2 to the power 4 is 16. So I get 32. 2 cube minus 2 cube. So minus 8. Minus 2 square is positive 4. This gives you 16. Minus 2a minus b equals to 0, right? So what I get now is minus 2a minus b equals to 32 minus 8, 24. 24 minus 16, 8. Transfer to other side, negative 8. So if I cancel minus sign or divide, 2a plus b equals to 8. So this is my first equation. Okay, now I have to see the next factor, which is x minus 1, right? So x minus 1 is also a factor. It means f of 1 must be equal to 0, right? Okay. All right. If f of minus 1 is 0, f of 1 is 0, I'm sorry, then what we get is 2 times 1 to the power of 4, same polynomial, 1 cube minus 4 times 1 squared plus a times 1 minus b must be also equal to 0. Okay, so it's all 1, right? So I get 2 plus 1 minus 4 plus a minus b equals to 0. So my second equation is a minus b equals to 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 minus 4 minus 1, transfer here is positive 1. So this is my second equation. I'm going to solve the two equations simultaneously, right? So the first equation is 2a plus b equals to 8. Second equation is a minus b equals to 1. It's quite simple, straightforward. I'm going to add them together. 2a plus a is 3a, b and b cancel, 0. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 3a equals to 9. So a equals to 3. If a equals to 3, I want to find the value of b. So 2 times 3 plus b equals to 8. So 2 times 3 is 6. So the value of b is equal to 2. So I get a equals to 3 and also b equals to 2. Right? You can cross check. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. The second equation, 3 minus 2 equals to 1. It means the value of a and b are found.